What's going on? Zach Adelstein here with another college football slate for you guys. Coming to you with the Saturday morning slate on Prizepicks for week two. Going to kind of break this up into two videos, I think, for Saturday slate. Big slate, lots of games, lots of stuff going on. Really exciting slate. I think there's some big games, not as many big games as week one. Week one, we saw obviously three top 10 matchups, saw a bunch of bigger profile games, learned a lot. This week we do have some really cool rivalries, really fun rivalries. We have the Cy-Hawk game. SMU Baylor has turned into a pretty good rivalry. Michigan Oklahoma is going to be a fun game. I'm just looking around, seeing what's out there. But I figured we'd break this up, do some morning games, do some of those 12 p.m. Eastern kickoff games, get through a few props there, and then kind of go from there. If you're not over at Daily Ed Sports yet, you need to get over there. We have all of your needs. Been kind of pushing this, but NFL starts tonight. We're filming this on Thursday afternoon. We got just a few hours before NFL kickoff, and tons of slips being thrown out there. Cash Kegs in there, putting out some slips, doing a lot of work behind the scenes on all of our tools. Our goblins are going to be red hot on our demons and goblins tool. Are every year. Basketball season is right around the corner, and it really gets going there as well. But this is football season. Week two, this is kind of where it really gets going. We get Thursday night NFL, Friday and Saturday college football, Saturday and Sunday and Monday NFL. And it's just kind of go for the next 3 months. Once again, you're not over there, get over there quick. We do have a special right now. NFL 25, you get 25% off your first week or month of any of our packages. So yeah, make sure you get on over there. But let's get into this Saturday morning slate. I'm Central Time, 11 a.m. It's a nice day of college football. And yeah, we're gonna kick it off with that SMU Baylor game. SMU last week had a pretty cupcake matchup, but they still gave up 244 yards to East Texas A&M. And they're going up against Baylor, who was in sort of a shootout for a while, then kind of fell off against Auburn at the end. There were so many points in that game, so many yards, so much production. I think that's going to continue here. This game has a between 64.5 and 65 point total with a 2 to 2.5 point spread. And I'm going to go to pass yards, go to Sawyer Robertson. Last week he went nuts, had 419 yards. Just look at this. I don't like to look at the recent charts, but you can kind of look at this is a team that throws the ball a lot. Last week he threw the ball 48 times. He's going to throw the ball a ton here again. They couldn't really get the run game going at all, and I think that could be a problem here as well. And with SMU giving up a bunch of run yards, I just think this number is too low. 244 yards to an FCS school that is kind of one of the lower tier FCS schools. It used to be A&M Commerce, now it's East Texas A&M. Going up, he could put up 419 yards here. I think he's going over 300 again easily here. I'm going to keep an eye out for his fantasy prop as well. They like to drop those lately on Fridays. So tomorrow I'm going to be keeping an eye out for his fantasy prop as well. But this is just a really good line, I think. Another game where they're going to have to throw it a ton of times. Sawyer Robertson isn't afraid to push that ball downfield. Next pick I'm going is one of his receivers. I'm just going to keep it there. Cole Wilson. Now, last week we talked about Josh Cameron. We thought he'd be the one. We didn't know who was going to step up for this team. Didn't know who was going to be the receiver. Cole Wilson was the big guy on the outside. He was a top receiver. Michael Trigg did get a ton of targets at tight end. Cole Wilson got 11 targets on the outside, and there were times he seemed unstoppable. Caught 8 of those 11 targets. Had an ADOT, an average depth of target over 13 yards down the field. So I was really pushing that. Ended up with 134 yards last week total. Again, I think this game is going to shoot out. It has a high total, close spread. This is a team that struggled to run the ball last week. They're going to put it in the air. 8 targets, or 11 targets. If he gets 8 targets here at a 13-yard ADOT, gets some that's 3 catches. He gets this. He cashes it. This number is just too low. Cole Wilson is a guy that if they're going to keep targeting like that, he could be one of the studs of the season, one of the surprise breakouts of the season. But even if he only gets 7 or 8 targets, I think he catches 3 or 4 targets and he goes over this line. So again, this is a stack that I'm really going to be watching for that morning line. Also looking at some of the other receivers, maybe for some of my lines, but I really do like these two. Another place I'm going to go back to was there a few weeks ago. Just a line that I think is way too low. Gonna go to that other rivalry game. We have Iowa State and Iowa. I don't usually love playing rushing lines against Iowa. They are a very good defense. This line is just too low. Rocco Beck needs 5 yards to go over here. Since last year, he's turned into a much better rusher. We talked about that week one, catch that line. 5 yards here is all he needs. He only had 5 rushes last week in a game, an FCS game. Now he gets to go up against, probably their biggest rival of the year. They won this game last year, and I think past couple of years. And they're going to put the ball in their best player's hand, which right now is Rocco Beck. He's their most experienced player. He's one of their best players. He has at least 15 yards in each game this year, in each of the two. He's gone over this again in 8 straight games. He likes to scramble. This team, they did give up a few sacks, but I think he's going to make that up. Running the ball, a couple design runs, and just scrambling, getting there. 4.5 yards, it's just too low. You can see going back to last season, he's got at least 15 yards in each game. Last season, he was really getting after it at the end of the year. This is another place they're going to have to respect those receivers. They're also not doing. Carson Hansen has not been great to start the year, so Beck might get a few extra looks there, a few pulls on some RPOs and some option plays. Yeah, I really like Beck here. I do like to take that lower line. It's just a nice little gimme line. But I do think that is a line that you can add into a bunch of your different plays. Another place that the last place I'm going to look on this early slate. Let's go to Louisville. Look at their rushing attack here. Excuse me, not Louisville. We go to Indiana. Wrong red team. We go to Indiana. Look at their rushing attack. They came into the year not really sure what was going to go on at running back. We had a couple different options back there. We have Roman Hemby who moved over there. But I'm going to look at Kalen Black. Last week they ran the ball 52 times. They actually had 89 total plays for the game, 57 times, excuse me. Kalen Black got 17 rushes last week. Turned that into 96 yards, had a really big game. Seemed like the 1B option, Roman Hemby, did have 23 rushing attempts, did have a target as well. But I think Black is just going to continue to get a nice share of these carries, and they're going up against Kennesaw State. Last week we went up against Old Dominion, put up over 300 rushing yards. Kennesaw State is the 93rd ranked rush defense according to PFF, and I just think this is another spot that they're going to keep running the ball. There's no reason not to keep running the ball. Frank Mendoza's over there. He did air it out a little bit, like we said. This game has a 35.5-point spread. There's no reason for them not to run the ball. They do need to get things going after last week having a kind of slow start to the year. Kicked it off pretty slow. Got going in the second half. So I do think they're going to keep their starters in a little bit more. Yeah, I really like this 6X, 4-player. I think is a good place to go. Good way to start our Saturday. Yeah, we'll be back with some more videos. Hope to see y'all on the flip side. You'll have a great week 2. Have a great opening night of the NFL, and we'll catch you later. Peace.